end of the day, that's the single thing that really drew me to this company, along with the advanced quality assurance and quality control and their commitment to excellence. But when we talk about our own health, one of the challenges that I faced, in addition to being overweight, I really had incredibly poor digestive wellness, and that was a result of some medical treatments associated with some seizures that I had. But at the end of the day, I was able to get that back under control. And I think people don't really appreciate that gut health is so much more than just, your digestion. So what we're going to talk about today is, the gut as sort of a cornerstone to health just in general. Because what we need to do is we need to be strategic with what we're eating, and we need to balance out the ecosystem of trillions of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms that actually live in our GI tract. So you might not know this, but the human gut contains over 100 trillion microorganisms, so it outnumbers human cells by a factor of 10. Your gut is really sort of your second brain. It has its own nervous system, the enteric nervous system, and that contains over 100 million neurons. So when people say, well, my gut, I get anxious, and I always feel it in my gut, that's because that signal of anxiety from your brain is directly connected with your gut. There are many people who would not want to be, doing a live stream Zoom for hundreds of people, right? That might make their gut a little bit upset. And so that just shows the direct connection. The gut microbiome has 150 times more genes than the human genome. So think about that for a second. We always say when we talk about genetic diversity, your genes are not your destiny. You can turn up the good stuff and turn down the bad stuff. And that's really what we want to do. And your gut also serves as a hub for your immune system. Like 70 to 80% of your immune function is the result of having a healthy or an unhealthy gut. So sometimes, I think when we talk to people, and we're trying to help people, which is definitely a theme for all of us involved in the product symposium, we want to jump to their particular challenge they want to work on. Oh, you're overweight, you need a Go Trim product. Oh, you're not sleeping well, you need, what our Prime Dreams product. Oh, you want to work on another aspect of your health. So digestion is really the place to start. Dr. D outlined that in her talk this morning. If we get the gut right, then many things will improve. But even with amazing supplements, right, if the gut's not in a position to receive them, and if you don't have good gastrointestinal integrity, then you're not going to be able to get the maximum nutrient absorption. So really, working with the gut first is really the most important thing. And many of us who are Go Trim coaches just inherently, naturally do that. Coach Corinne does that. Coach Pam, Barb, Julie Lancedo. We all know that we have to focus on the gut first and get the gut healthy, and then we can move forward with other, goals associated with achieving and maintaining a healthy weight. But nutrient absorption is like one of the key things, and sometimes people are like, you've heard Dr. D say, if it's an essential nutrient, you have to take it because we can't make it. Well, the gut actually can make a couple of nutrients. It can make vitamin K, it can also make B12, but making the B12 doesn't help much because it gets absorbed in the small intestine and it gets made in the large intestine, so it's in the wrong place. But we do want to make sure that we set ourselves up so that we can, the bacteria that make vitamin K are menaquinone, and they're really, it's powerful, but we need to have the right balance to be able to make it. And when we talk about immune function, your intestine's coated with like billions of microorganisms and cells that provide the body with a filter so that we can keep out unwanted toxins. It's your first line of defense. We had friends visiting for the weekend, and she has 2 grandkids, and they go to, preschool and kindergarten, and, she's constantly being exposed to those, the little bugs from the little kids. And, she works hard to maintain good immune function, and I'm happy to help her with that. Because she knows that by providing that, having good gut integrity, she can reduce her risk. And then finally, blood sugar and thyroid function. Your gut bacteria actually regulate your glucose metabolism and also responsible for your thyroid hormone health. So we want to make sure that people are aware of that because that can impact your energy and also your weight. So let's talk about the gut-brain connection for a minute. Did you know that the gut actually produces your neurotransmitters? I like to always talk about serotonin, the feel-good brain chemical, or GABA, they both affect mood and emotional well-being. Well, if we don't have, good digestive wellness, then we're not going to be able to generate those neurotransmitters. Gut health also influences melatonin production and your circadian rhythm. You started the day, or we started the day. I personally didn't because I was getting ready for this, but there we had the early morning walk, and you want to have the exposure to the first morning light. That helps to establish your circadian rhythm. And having a good circadian rhythm also supports better sleep quality. Sleep is really, I can't tell you guys how often that ends up being the focus of my discussion when working with people and coaching them, because a lot of times people just underestimate it. They're like, I'll sleep when I'm dead, or, there's not enough hours in the day. We all have our reasons, or our, I'm going to say, excuses for not, getting the right amount of sleep. But I can promise you that if you make that a priority, a lot of other things will fall in line. And you can see here that sleep regulation is also influenced by gut health. So if you get those two things right, you're going to have a huge advantage in terms of making progress on any of your other goals, whether it's exercise performance, or whether it's, weight loss, or whatever, improving just overall well-being. Also, people don't really talk enough about this, but certain gut bacteria help to promote satiety. We talk about leptin and ghrelin, the I'm hungry, I'm full hormones, but at the end of the day, I'm going to show you that in our probiotics, for example, we have some skinny bugs, and we want to make sure that people understand that, certain gut bacteria can actually help with satiety, reducing cravings, enhancing your metabolism, and also aiding in what we can consider to be sustainable weight control. Because it's not just enough to lose the weight, right, you guys? You have to want to keep it off. And we have to have strategies in place to do that. We want it to become just part of our lifestyle. I'll tell you my story tomorrow about weight loss and weight management. I think it just fits better with the Go Trim story, actually. But a big part, again, of my success with my health was in improving, my overall digestive wellness. Well, you guys understand that making change requires energy, right? It's not easy. We all really would prefer to have the opportunity to be able to just make a change and then it just sticks, right? Well, diet has the most significant influence on your gut health. So the things that you can do in terms of like dietary choices is to make sure you include fiber-rich foods. You want to reduce processed foods, and you want to incorporate fermented food products as well. When we talk about lifestyle modifications, well, stress management is really key. And it always cracks me up when people say, well, you shouldn't be stressed by that. If somebody's stressed, they're stressed. So how we handle that, is going to make a difference. And if we have chronic stress, it will negatively affect your gut permeability, and it can lead to something called leaky gut. It's just not a good thing. You don't really, when we have leaky gut, then the material from your gastrointestinal tract can actually leave your GI tract, and you don't really want, Jim doesn't need his honey Cheerio pretzel things in his elbow, right? So at the end of the day, it's not quite that dramatic, but we want to make sure that we have good gut integrity, because that's also going to enhance nutrient absorption. And then sleep hygiene. Adequate sleep, again, is essential for gut microbiome balance. So we want to make sure, and the amount of sleep is dependent on the individual. We have these general rules or guidelines that you hear all the time. Everybody needs 8 hours. Really, mostly sleep in 90-minute sleep cycles. So most people do better with 6 hours, 7.5 hours, 9 hours, actually, than 8. But, everybody has to figure that out for themselves. But it's good to be mindful about it. Consistent supplementation, I think, is one of the things that's most important for overall gut health and supporting gut function, because we want to make sure that we ensure microbiome diversity, and then we want to maintain it once we've got it. It's easy to get it out of balance, you guys. People, end up, for good reason, being prescribed an antibiotic or a steroid, and then that can cause some imbalance. Brandy talked about the processed foods. That can most definitely cause an imbalance. So we have to make a conscious effort with our food and with supplementation to get things back in balance, and then to maintain it. And then you do need some physical activity to support microbiome diversity and exercise recovery. So the 4 key things, your focus factors when we talk about good digestive health, are, first of all, your diet. And we want a diet, rich in fiber, that's going to support regular bowel movements and provide prebiotics for gut bacteria. So, prebiotics are what the probiotics feed on. And then the leftovers, after your body has utilized the prebiotics and probiotics, are something called postbiotics. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. In addition to diet, we want to have good hydration. So it's good that Julie drinks her water before she even has her coffee. And we want to be mindful about the fact that we want to, take in adequate water each day. It's necessary, one, for the have the right consistency of stool, and so that we can just, flush the toxins from our system each day. Probiotics and prebiotics. The probiotics are, if you're going to try to consume those, you'd find those in fermented foods. And so what would that be? That would be like something like kimchi, or if you like kombucha or sauerkraut. All of those are fermented foods. And then the prebiotics are found in your high fiber foods. And that's what contributes to a balanced gut microbiome and, good digestion. And then mindful eating is a practice that I highly recommend for people. People oftentimes don't really focus on, we're just hurrying, right? And we sit down in front of the TV and grab something to eat. And I personally don't do that, but I know a lot of people do that. So, eating slowly and mindfully actually allows your digestive system to process the food. The enjoyment of food is not just the taste of it. It's seeing it. It's how colorful it is. Is it nicely prepared? Is it well seasoned? It's all of that. And if you take your time to eat it, then you're going to have the benefit of being able to, appreciate all of that and really gain the benefit. It also gives your brain the time to get the signal that you're full so that you can avoid, overeating. So, what goes first? So let's talk about, now we're going to move into talking about our products, right? Because the products that we have that are going to support this are really important that people understand kind of like in what order, what goes first, and where do we start. So first is fiber intake. And the fiber helps to feed the beneficial bacteria. It promotes bowel regularity, and it aids in the production of short chain fatty acids. So things like, butyrate. And the recommendation for this is our NutriClean Advanced Fiber Powder for optimum fiber intake. And in the chat, I would just love to see, what people think. Do you all, how many of you are using the fiber powder? Do you guys love the fiber powder? If you can go ahead and just put that in there, that'll be helpful. Then the second product that we want to talk about, and I will talk about, is digestive enzymes. So the digestive enzymes are just like, I think they're the Mac Daddy. And if I want to introduce somebody to digestive health support products, I want to make sure that they know about our digestive enzymes for comprehensive enzymatic support, because too many people don't eat enough fresh fruits and vegetables. And a lot of people really just don't understand why they take a multivitamin, but what do they take? They take, Bob's, discount vitamin, and they're like, multivitamins don't work. Well, they're not breaking them down. They don't have good gastrointestinal health. So they're not able to actually break down a pill or a tablet. It's also another reason, why our isotonics delivery system is just so amazing. And then probiotics are really powerful. And we love our probiotics 10 because it's 10 different strains with 10 billion colony forming units to provide a broad spectrum of beneficial strains. So, here's the thing, you guys. Dr. D and the team at Nutrimetrics Market America does a really good job of doing the research. They're going to pick out things that they know have good research behind them and that are, for a key ingredient, they want to make sure it's going to have, good integrity and quality assurance, quality control. But they also look at the delivery system. And you're going to see as we talk about this why that's sort of important and why our probiotics are so special. Wouldn't you love to have a probiotic that can make it through the whole digestive system without being broken down and get to the right part of your GI tract so that it can actually deliver a benefit? It's just huge. All right, so butyrate supplementation. So our advanced digestive support product, I think, is one of the most underutilized products that's out there. You want to, support your gut barrier integrity. We want to reduce inflammation, and we want to promote metabolic health. A lot of people are talking about berberine. They're talking about butyrate. People are talking about GLP-1s. This is a great approach to provide a support by providing the butyrate with our advanced digestive support. And then finally, aloe. Okay, who loves our aloe? If you can put your favorite flavor right in the chat, I would love to see that. But I don't. I'm hoping not everybody's going to pick just the plain, which I refer to as the yucky flavor. Oh, good. There's lots of strawberry kiwi. You guys are normal. This is good.
The
Good
yucky
audience, like the
flavor.
audience
She's
today.
crazy.
So here's the thing. We've got these 5 key products. So let's talk a little bit more about them. The average American gets about 10 to 15 grams of fiber a day. USDA recommends 25 grams a day for women and 38 grams for men. So everybody needs to be at a higher fiber intake. You can get it from your food, but we also have an amazing dietary fiber product, which we'll talk about. When we talk about fiber-rich food sources, you've got oats and legumes and fruits and vegetables and whole grains. And the effect is that it's going to provide increased, bulk in your stool, which is good, and it's going to promote regularity. But I think the most important thing that fiber really does is that it serves as a prebiotic. So it's what our probiotics feed on. So it's absolutely critical, you guys. Um, Allison, don't be telling me the no sugar. I get what you're saying. It's a very clean product, but okay, Team Natural Aloe. We'll have to talk. In any regard, when we talk about probiotic foods, I mentioned yogurt and sauerkraut and kimchi, the effect of that is that it's going to introduce live beneficial bacteria to your gut ecosystem in a very natural way. The prebiotic foods that you could eat are things like garlic and onions. All the alliums are good, asparagus, bananas, and that's going to provide food for your probiotics. And then, of course, we do need omega-3 fatty acids because that supports a healthy gut lining. So that's awesome. So we can have big impact with the foods that we choose, but we can also provide supplementation, and that's going to provide, an additional level of support. So again, this is just positioning it in a slightly different format, but the prebiotics are what the probiotics are going to feed on. So that's what's going to help feed and maintain the beneficial bacteria in a good level. And then the probiotics help restore and maintain a balanced microbiome. Your probiotics are responsible for blood sugar maintenance. They have a lot of benefits in terms of our daily functioning and our physiology. And then the postbiotics, such as the short chain fatty acids, that we were talking about in our advanced digestive wellness support product. The postbiotics complement the effects of the prebiotics and postbiotics. So some people talk about like a postbiotic is kind of the leftovers. It's the waste products from the prebiotics and probiotics, but they still confer a health benefit, which I think is pretty cool. So when we talk about a complete biotic, it's the prebiotics plus probiotics plus postbiotics. And when we talk about that, Fibersol 2 is a really well-researched ingredient, which is in our fiber powder. It's also in our Go Trim shakes. And it's a resistant starch. So it's a kind of starch that doesn't get broken down in the small intestine. You can get it from foods like green bananas or plantains and cooked and cooled rice or potatoes. I'm not really promoting the rice potato thing because of the high glycemic impact. But the best food sources really would be like a green banana. But I think the best source actually is our NutriClean Advanced Fiber Powder. The fiber powder confers additional benefits because it also is going to contain some probiotics. The benefits of our fiber powder that it can help regulate appetite by increasing feelings of fullness. It can blunt food cravings. It can support healthy triglycerides and satiety. It promotes bowel regularity and colon health, and it supports healthy glucose and lipid metabolism. So you'll get 5 grams of the Fibersol 2 in our fiber product. We also have, inulin fiber, which is a soluble prebiotic fiber found in chicory and onions and garlic. It feeds the bifidobacteria in particular, so it supports good microbiota balance. Fermented by gut bacteria to produce short-chain fatty acids like the butyrate that we were talking about. It supports the body's ability to absorb essential minerals like calcium and magnesium, and it supports healthy intestinal regularity. So the NutriClean fiber powder has 5 grams of the inulin as well. Then it's got the probiotic blend that I mentioned. It's got lactobacillus and bifidobacteria, which support immune function and maintain microbial balance. The probiotics work with the fiber hand in hand to support the activity of your microbiome for digestion. And we support a balanced immune response as well. this fiber powder also contains L-glutamine, which is a precursor to glutathione, the master antioxidant. So, to have 1,000 milligrams of that in there. So, just to be clear, the fiber powder has way more in it than just fiber. It's also got the probiotics, right? And it's also got the L-glutamine. And so, 1.5 billion colony forming units of good bugs. It just adds extra bang for your buck, okay, here. So it promotes good bacterial growth. So that's clear that that's super important for us, and we want to keep things in balance. So the fiber powder also, as I mentioned, is a blend of fiber and probiotics. But the third part is the most important part. And Colin was explaining to me yesterday, Colin said that, if you want to download the brown load, then you've got to make sure that you avoid constipation by using our fiber powder. So that's why our fiber powder also is a part of our NutriClean 7-day cleanse kit as well, which is very, very popular with our Go Trim programs. So the fiber powder overall can provide incredible balance, okay, for general gut health and just general overall health, okay? So we've got 5 grams of inulin, we've got 5 grams of fibersol, and when you look over on the label, you'll see that it's 90% fiber. So that means there's 4.5 grams of actual, fiber per the label requirements. So you're getting 9 grams total fiber from these 10 grams total source. You've got 1.5 billion colony forming units of those 4 key strains of probiotics, and then also 1 gram of L-glutamine there. So who should use it? I think everybody on here. You've already seen that a lot of people have commented it's one of their favorite products. But the fiber powder, it's not just for when you're constipated. It's not just for people who want to, detoxify. It's for anybody. It's for good bowel health. It's for high stress. It's for people with limited time. It's for people that don't eat enough vegetables and want to make sure they're getting that in. It's for people with high protein diets that don't have that balance. It's for anybody who wants to support their immune health. It's for people who are physically active. And for people that want better skin health as well. So, definitely you're gonna want to make sure that the fiber powder's on your shelf. Let's talk about our digestive enzymes for just a minute with the probiotics. When we talk about the pursuit of tonal wellness, relying on synergy between digestive enzymes, the microbiome, and lifestyle choices. So there are no get out of jail free cards, you guys. But when we talk about digestive enzymes, it's close because a lot of times people may not be aware that something is a trigger for them. Maybe they've had some food sensitivity, and so they feel ill after they eat something. What can you do to try to clean things up as best you can? Well, the digestive enzymes with probiotics are going to help to break down anything so that we can maximize the absorption of the essential nutrients that fuel every one of our cells. The enzymes are going to also, make sure we keep things in balance. And when we supplement with plant-based enzymes, it restores harmony, enhancing nutrient absorption, gut health, and overall vitality. So when we talk about the function of the enzymes, they break down complex food molecules into smaller absorbable components. So, cellulase is going to break down cellulose. We'll go through with some of the ingredients here. But the enzymes work in a specific manner. So they target the protein, the fat, and the carbohydrates, or macros, to be able to go ahead and get them broken down to enhance nutrient absorption. Our bodies do produce enzymes, but your vegetables and colorful foods are one of the most important sources, but it needs to be fresh fruits and vegetables, things that are cooked extensively, or the enzymes would not be alive. So we want mineral-rich foods to contribute to digestive comfort, nutrient breakdown, and also to utilization. The benefit of digestive enzymes are that they're going to enhance nutrient absorption. So many people out there, you guys, will tell you, I've got some GI issues, or people talk about having, reflux or other things. And these products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. But having said that, these products are amazing in terms of being able to provide people with the best chance to the enzymes to absorb the nutrients that they are taking in. It can also help ease occasional stomach upset. I'm pretty sure that Jim Dwyer had digestive enzymes available last Thursday when it was Thanksgiving, right? Because we want to make sure that we feel fine. And then potential clients or anybody that wants to maximize their nutrition, people that don't make great dietary choices, people that complain of occasional stomach upset. And then when you're traveling, I would never travel without taking the digestive enzymes with me because sometimes I get exposed to different water or something in that I'm exposed to in foods that are, that are a trigger for me. And the digestive enzymes are incredibly helpful for that. When we have a healthy gut, we already talked about the benefit of improving our immune function and our sleep, and also mental and emotional balance, as well as insulin sensitivity. So your gut biome and its ecosystem are the first response team for cardiovascular and metabolic balance. So pause and think about that for a second. Dr. D talked about, when you have blood tests done and you're looking at, results and, liver function, how important that is. Just think about the fact that your gut health actually impacts your heart health. Pretty important, you guys. And so I think if you're not spending enough time on your digestive health, this is a great opportunity to hit pause and make sure that you really plan for that and that you make sure that you have the products on hand to support it. So in our enzymes, we have this amazing stuff called digozyme, which is a proprietary blend of amylase, protease, cellulase, lactase, and also lipase enzymes. So it also contains lactospore, which is a special Bacillus coagulans probiotic strain. When you have something as a spore, a lot of times people say, well, you don't have very good probiotics if they're not refrigerated. Well, that's just not true. You can provide longevity. You can provide
Her feelings were hurt a little bit
make
on
a probiotic more hardy and protected from its environments, like the acid in your stomach, by using it in the spore form. And so it's great because, again, we have something that's so unique that other people don't have. It's got sucrase to break down sucrose, magnesium, which is definitely an essential nutrient, and then also potassium to help with electrolyte and fluid balance and muscle function. So, again, these are the allowable, claims for the digestive enzymes, but it's really important for nutrient absorption and for balanced gut microbiome. And it's really good for achieving, alleviating digestive discomfort, such as bloating or gas, and promoting better digestion and well-being. And it sets the foundation for energy, immune response, and resilience, and long-term vitality, which is what we all want. We want to be the best version of ourselves every single day. And the digozyme, again, is this proprietary blend of amylase, lactase, cellulase, lipase, and protease. And this group of enzymes are resistant to the action of your gastric juices. So we drink it in. And by the way, although it's labeled as an isotonic product, you don't have to be too worried about the exact mixing of the amounts. This is the one time where we get a pass on that. We really just need to get it mixed with the water and get it into our system. It's going to bypass all the stomach acid, make it to where it needs to in the intestinal tract so that we can gain a benefit. The lactospore is a lactic acid producing microbial preparation. And its lactospore is good because it's also a shelf-stable probiotic, super important for us. And it helps to support gut microflora, and it helps to germinate and proliferate within the GI tract. And it's what supports the short-chain fatty acids that are so important to us, like the butyrate. It's a comprehensive enzyme blend. So when we talk about the competition and advantages, many different proper products out there do not have all of the same diversity in terms of the enzymes. It includes probiotics, and in particular, it features the lactospore. And it's isotonic delivery system, so it enhances the absorption efficiency and speed, and it does use the digozyme, which is that special acid-stable and gluten-free plant-based full-spectrum enzyme complex, which is, so as we would say, it's the bomb, right? So when we talk about gut health, your gut is, again, home to all these trillions of bacteria. And we want to make sure that the gut microbiome, which influences everything from digestion and nutrient absorption to immune function and even your mood. Think of what kind of mood people might be in today, right? With the hassles of the holidays and everything, and the excitement of the holidays too, if they don't have good mood regulation. Well, a good gut is the first step in that. And when we have a delicate ecosystem and it gets disrupted, it can lead to different health issues beyond just bad mood or irritable digestion. It can actually set you up for, being more susceptible to exposure to disease and stuff. So the microbiome's role in nutrient synthesis, probiotics help maintain the microbial balance in the gut, and they replenish the gut's beneficial bacteria. Then the healthy gut microbiome enhances our ability to absorb nutrients, and potentially supporting the efficacy of multivitamins. And then it also plays a critical role in synthesizing essential nutrients, as I mentioned. So here's our Probiotics 10 product, and it's overwhelmingly great for beneficial digestive health. Studies have shown that adding probiotics to your diet have a lot of different health benefits, and clinical studies specifically indicate that lactobacilli and bifidobacteria supplements support intestinal epithelial integrity and healthy immune response. It's a lot of fancy words, right? The intestinal epithelial integrity, but the epithelial cells which line your gastrointestinal tract are the ones that we want to make sure that they're in good shape, and we want to make sure that we are not prone to leaky gut or any challenge to the integrity of the gastrointestinal lining. And that's what we're doing here with this. The Probiotics 10 stands out because of the diversity of strains and total bacteria. And, a lot of different products on the market deliver a high probiotic count, but some only have 1 or 2 strains. In contrast, we have 10 carefully selected strains, each of which play a unique role, and all of which are important for, overall health. It's so interesting to me that sometimes people will bring me a bottle and they'll say, oh, but yours has 10 billion colony forming units. We have 100 billion. But a lot of times they don't have it in a form that's going to be able to make it through the acid of the stomach. So they put more in so they have a better chance of the bugs making it to where they need to be able to actually have a health impact. So more is not better. You really do need to understand exactly, how it works. So we've got the Lactobacillus casei, which helps with stress and mood. We've got the salivarius, which populates throughout the mouth and the small intestine and the large intestine. We've got skinny bugs, and who doesn't want that, right? Everybody that's part of our GoTrim system really wants to have the benefit of the different lactobacilli strains. And then we've got some super fermenters, and super fermenters offer, advantages to us as well. So why do we want Probiotics 10? It's a diverse bacterial ecosystem. It's going to help optimize digestion, help us with nutrient absorption, enhance immune function, and balance our hormones. And we've got 500 different species working together in our gut to promote the integrity. The pH balance is super important as well for your body, you guys, and probiotics make a difference on that. They're going to support better overall health, making it, easier to have good energy, mood, and then long-term well-being. So the key is choosing formulations that are designed to withstand the digestive environment and deliver viable probiotics. The survival rate, of commercial probiotics varies. I mentioned that some of them have huge counts in terms of numbers of bacteria, but the reason that they have that is because they're not stable. Also, I mentioned about people will say, oh, well, if it's not a refrigerated probiotic, then it's no good. But think about that, you guys. It's got to get from the manufacturer to the health food store where they put it in the refrigerator. So you've got to drive it home. I always feel bad when I'm talking to moms who, have kids who they're giving probiotics to, and they're like, I left it on the counter this morning. Well, when she gets home from work and the kids get home from school, that probiotic's not going to be any good. So having something that's shelf stable, something that we can store at room temperature, something that we can travel with. What do people that use refrigerated probiotics do when they travel? So, I mean, it just makes sense. Our Probiotics 10 is an incredibly powerful product that I hope all of you are using. Why don't you just pop in the chat if you are a Probiotics 10 user, just put 10 in the chat, and then we'll get a sense of how many people are using. Yeah, that's good. I'm checking on some of you guys. I'm recognizing these names. It's good to see this. Great. So the benefits are for weight management. It's actually going to help us to manage fat stores in the body. It's going to obviously support our weight loss efforts. I showed you the skinny bugs, and it helps to maintain normal cholesterol levels, which has the benefit for weight management as well as heart health. Stress and health, it helps our bodies adapt to stress. It's going to support oral health and healthy teeth. Sometimes people don't really appreciate how much oral health impacts our overall health. It also supports a healthy urinary tract. And that's really important, for individuals. And also using the Probiotics 10 can also support vaginal health. And then it's generally going to also help with general overall wellness. Skin health is influenced by probiotics. as is being the key to a healthy digestion. So for digestive health support, it's great, helps balance the body with healthy bacteria. It's going to promote bowel regularity and colon health. So it's going to also help with Colin's efforts, and it's also going to promote stomach comfort. So probiotics they're not like something that you take like digestive enzymes that you get this like immediate kind of response, right? But probiotics are something that you want to be taking on an ongoing basis so that as you encounter things that could be disruptive to your gastrointestinal balance, you've got it on board. And I already mentioned that it can help with healthy vaginal flora and pH. So definitely something that women want to make sure that we have on board. So I love it. It's the reason it's competitive, you guys, is because we have 10 strains. So that gives us a really broad spectrum approach. And it supports different health areas. So everything from digestive health to immune function to vaginal flora and more. And it's the advanced delivery technology, allowing it to be shelf stable, for storage, and then also to be able to travel with it and transport it is amazing. And it's got a higher viability because of its resilience as it goes through the digestive process to get where it needs to be to work. And then the delivery technology is amazing. Short chain fatty acids, also really super important. I talked about butyrate, and we really need to appreciate that it helps with everything from detoxification to enhancing brain function. So the short chain fatty acids are absorbed by the cells lining the colon, and they enter the bloodstream. And they're important for neurotransmitter signaling and regulation of cellular function. And also, short chain fatty acids travel throughout the body, influencing different physiological processes and contributing to overall health. So the gut, your colon's preferred fuel is actually butyrate. And you can't just it's not like you're going to find foods that are going to enhance this particularly. So it's better to make sure that we have short chain fatty acids to ensure that we have the gut microbiome balanced and we're enhancing the growth of the beneficial bacteria. And we want to also make sure that because these compounds help with gut motility, that's how fast the food moves through your GI tract, and blood sugar health, that we have them on board. Dr. D talked about liver health earlier. So, butyrate is primarily metabolized in the gut where it sends signals to the liver for blood sugar and energy balance. So butyrate, again, is supporting that. It also helps with cholesterol synthesis. And sometimes people think cholesterol is just all bad. We need cholesterol in our bodies. And so we want to have the right amount, and we want to have it, synthesized in a steady rate. And butyrate can also influence different appetite factors through different mechanisms and even gene regulation. When we talk about the gut-brain axis, butyrate serves as the precursor for the neurotransmitter GABA. So we talked earlier about serotonin. Serotonin and GABA are what's going to make us feel good and be able to be resilient and to be able to, manage multiple different competing priorities. So it really does potentially influence, our brain function and behavior. And when we talk about it, it's a two-way street. The gut produces transmitters that affect mood, but then we also have the vagus nerve. It's a direct communication pathway between the gut and the brain. We also have immune system modulation responses, which can affect our brain function, and then stress responses. So all of this is a complex network, you guys. And if we want to be the best version of ourselves, again, the take-home message is we want to use these different digestive support products. And in particular, the core biome, the active ingredient of tributylin in the advanced digestive support product, that combined with the berberine is huge, because we're going to have better, gut health. We're going to also have our better brain function, better energy, and we're going to be able to support our wellness and weight loss goals. I know some of you have heard of berberine referred to as nature's Ozempic. It's not exactly that, but it is a very powerful product, and it does support healthy insulin activity. So it is very important. And I think a lot of people in the Go Trim group have determined that this particular product, the Advanced Digestive Support, just makes sense for them. And it's really, really excellent in terms of providing a healthy body biome. And it's one of it's our newest digestive wellness product. I'm not going to read you the digestive support, advantages, because you have access to that, of course, on the website in detail. But I wanted to just move forward because I have a slide here that talks about sort of the highlights of what we need to do in terms of getting people on board with their digestive support. We have these amazing products. We need to be able to talk about them and let people understand that a healthy gut is a healthy immune system. And when we have a healthy gut or strong immune system, then we have better immune function and better immune health. So we're moving into the winter months, and we want people to realize that that's one of the things that they can do to make a difference. And finally, I'm going to close out with our Ultimate Aloe product. Our Ultimate Aloe is just an amazing product made from whole leaf aloe, certified by the International Aloe Council. And I think it's absolutely, an amazing product that people like for the convenience of being able to take it in the packets or having it already pre-made in the 32-ounce bottles. And you need to know your aloe so that you can talk to people about it. You need to understand that the aloin, which is the stuff that makes you poop, that's found in aloe, has been removed. So it's there as a health drink for us. It's a whole leaf aloe, and it's safe for both topical and internal use. So some people actually use our aloe for topical use as well. Any number of benefits with the Ultimate Aloe and its concentrated bioactive ingredients, but it supports immune function, a healthy gut barrier, and it's a really good source of good bacteria. You guys know why to drink it. It supports a strong immune system. It's rich in vitamins and minerals, and it's known to promote normal healing processes in the body over, supporting immune function and overall health. We have 3 times more polymers in ours than in the competition. And if you've ever tried another aloe, I don't have time to tell you the story about my brother, but he found an aloe that was a little bit less expensive and just thought it was the bomb, but it had no active ingredients in it. So, you really do want to make sure you understand the value of the products that we've got and really appreciate the active ingredients and the scientific expertise that goes into the formulations. So when we talk about paying attention to gut health, you guys, it's everything from focus, memory, emotional stability, attention, to blood sugar levels, healthy weight management, and it's also healthy aging, healthy energy, and having a healthy heart. So I want to thank you guys for joining me for this segment, and I'll turn it back over to our co-host.